Jiniraj. So today we will be seeing the aircraft pressurization system. So as we know, pressurization system is a system which ensures the comfort and safety of crew and passengers by controlling the cabin pressure and the exchange of air from the inside of the aircraft to the outside. So we all know that when the aircraft is flying at some altitude, the outside pressure and temperature drops because in sea level condition we have one type of temperature and pressure where we experience that type of pressure and temperature to live. But at some certain altitudes, that when the altitude increases, the pressure and temperature keeps on dropping. So when the temperature and pressure drops, we have some discomfort while we travel in flight. So in order to maintain that, or in order to rectify that issue, the aircraft need to be pressurized. So before getting into the topic, we'll be seeing one small animation type animation for this cabin pressurization. So what will happen when the aircraft will be flying? So here, first of all, the aircraft is in the airport for boarding the passengers. Now the passengers are boarding inside the aircraft. Now we have the aircraft is taking off from the airport. It take off, and as I told earlier itself, we know that the aircraft will be having different phases of flight, and phases of flight like takeoff, engine startup, takeoff, then cruise. So next is the cruise condition. The cruise condition will be the aircraft flying at some constant velocity at some higher altitude. The altitude may be, it reaches the altitude of 35,000 when it is cruising. The aircraft will cruise at some higher altitude like 35,000 above. So at that period of time, or at that altitude, the passengers feel some discomforts like they can't breathe properly. So there will be some breathing trouble, then temperature changes. This all happens inside the cabin of the aircraft. So for in order to uh, recover from that issues and all, a passenger need to wear an oxygen mask to feel comfort. That means the passengers doesn't have any that means they can't breathe properly inside the cabin. So what would be the aircraft, in aircraft they have some masks, oxygen mask, so that they can pull the oxygen mask and wear that oxygen mask. After that they can feel comfort inside the aircraft. Here we can see, the by pulling the oxygen mask, it will come outside, and after that we can wear it, and we can use it for our travel. So in order to avoid that issue, for avoiding this total issues for using the oxygen mask, because for certain amount of or certain period of time only this oxygen will remain for everyone inside the cabin of the aircraft. So after that we can't maintain the oxygen inside the aircraft, so all people will have serious issues will happen for the passengers. So in order to minimize these things and all, what we need is, we need to have aircraft to be pressurized. So the aircraft must be pressurized, so the cabins are pressurized. So if the cabin is pressurized, automatically the passengers will feel comfort. So now with this animation we can move on to the system, pressurization system, why we need this pressurization system for the aircraft and all. So normally in our normal atmospheric condition or in the sea level condition, we have sufficient pressure to breathe freely. This effects will be up to 8,000 feet altitude. After that, if the aircraft is moving to some higher altitude like 35,000 above feet and all, the pressure and temperature automatically drops. We know the pressure and temperature, it will drops when the altitude increases. The temperature is also dropping, the pressure is also dropping. So Yeah, for that, at that period of time we need to have a constant temperature in our cabin. So we need to have a constant pressure and temperature to be maintained in the cabin so that the passengers feel comfort for their travel.